Are you creative and productive, or are you just creative and lazy? Do you use your creativity, to justify your laziness? If you want to overcome that and become a more productive creative, let me share with you a couple of tips. So being a creative myself, it doesn't matter if I'm writing a book, if I'm creating a new program, or if I'm creating a new product. No matter what it is, as creative people have a little bit different needs. We are wired a little bit differently. So and if you're watching this video as well, it is very highly likely and possible that you've confused your laziness with being part of your creative nature. But that's really not the case. Let me share with you a couple of ways how you can be more productive as a creative. Number one, don't use your creativity as an excuse. So many creative people that I know use their creativity as an excuse to be lazy, not to do things. They say it's just in their nature. I am creative, therefore I'm not disciplined. No, you can be very creative and very disciplined at the same time. They're not two different things. They can actually go hand in hand, and in most cases they have to go hand in hand. Because think about creative people that you admire, that you look up to. Chances are they're very successful. And how did they get successful? Yes, they were disciplined as well. So again, do not use your creativity as an excuse. And number two, define your 1, 2, 3 actions that you have to take consistently as a creative. Now, as creatives, very simple. There are usually 1 to 3 actions that we have to do what we do best. If you're a writer, writing is your number one action. Sitting yourself down and writing, that's the most important thing you can do. If you're a designer, designing the new clothes. A good friend of mine, she's a very great designer. And the most important thing is just getting herself down and designing, coming up with new design concepts. So what is it for you? What are your 1, 2, 3 most important actions that you have to take consistently? For me, for example, creating my YouTube channel, writing the videos, very important. And then filming the videos. These are the most important tasks. These are the most important actions I consistently have to take. Now, what is it for you? Yeah, define them, and these are the things you want to consistently do. And one very important thing here, why do I keep saying action? Because you want to focus on the action. You do not want to focus on the result. All the great creatives of the world, they focus on the consistent action. The result is a byproduct. The result comes from taking the action. The biggest challenge that we as creatives have, we do not take enough consistent and persistent action. We tend to make, again, back to number one, we tend to make lots of excuses. So define what are these most important actions for you. And then number 3, do these 1 to 3 actions, do them daily, do them consistently. If you're watching this, you probably have to get in the habit of doing it. Again, we creatives, we can invent lots of excuses. We are creative after all. Now, and the other thing is you hear certain stories. The movie script that was written overnight, and the hit film that became an overnight success, right? The book that was written overnight. Do they exist? Yes, but these are rare cases. If you look at people, like as an example, Stephen King, who has written so many successful books. But what's his process? He writes every consistent day at the same time. And he does it again and again and again. It could be one, I'm not sure in his case exactly right now, but maybe it's 1 or 2 hours of writing, 3 hours of writing. But he gets himself there and he consistently writes. Number 4, keep track visually. Now, we as creatives, we tend to lie of ourselves a lot, when we did what, how often we did it. So we need something visual that very clearly shows us we did it or we didn't do it. So I recommend you have a calendar, you put it on the wall where you always look at throughout your day, or somewhere else where you look at. And every day when you do your most important action, you check it off. And then the next day, check it off, check it off, check it off. And your goal is not to break the chain, except of course on the weekends. You don't want to be necessarily working on the weekends. Yeah, so that's a great way to show yourself visually about your progress. The other thing you can do, you can track your numbers. You can define certain numbers that you want to accomplish. Let's say if you're writing a book, right? Maybe you want to write 3 pages a day. Maybe it's 1 page a day, it doesn't matter. But then under the check, you also write down how many pages did you write on that day. But most importantly, find a way to keep track visually of your most important actions. And number 5, lock yourself up. Yeah, I'm serious. Lock yourself up. Either go to a room, lock the door, and tell to yourself, okay, for the next 30 minutes, hour, 2 hours, whatever is you choose, whatever is best for you, whatever you decided, what create the results. And then lock yourself up and say, I'm not gonna do anything until I get this done. So it can be lock yourself up in the room. It can be, in my personal case, as an example, when I write, pretty much all of my books that I've written, I prefer to write them in coffee shops. Yeah, coffee shops. The reason for that is also very simple. I get some visual stimuli around me, people moving, but nobody there really knows me, so nobody talks to me. So in my case, I have the best of both worlds, because in the room, there's nothing going on. Yeah, so I found out that in my personal case, my mind works better if I write in coffee shops. So think about what works for you, but lock yourself up. Lock the time and put yourself in a place where you have to get things done. So comment below one time, which of these tips are you going to use immediately starting from today? Again, as creatives, we tend to sometimes postpone things. Don't postpone this. Yeah, so comment below one time, what are you going to do? If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, hit the subscribe button. Many exciting videos coming up. If you liked it, you can click the thumbs up button as well. And most importantly, I really look forward to seeing you for the next video.